A high school horror story. First love turns into a devil. A shy high school girl, gradually becomes entangled in terrifying events as her unrequited love for We, the new transfer student, begins to blossom. However, things take a darker turn when a ghost from the past emerges, bringing with it a deep grudge and a chilling warning. First love turns into a devil. Chap 1. Nestled in the outskirts of a small town, surrounded by lush green fields and rolling hills in the distance, MP High School presents a picturesque scene. Though not very large, the school exudes a traditional and rustic charm unique to rural schools. Trees and vibrant flowers line the pathways, creating a natural and refreshing environment for students to relax between classes. Within the campus of MP High School, there was a girl named Mai. Mai was a shy senior with a rather ordinary appearance. However, behind that exterior was a heart trembling with unrequited love for a boy named Wee. Wee, who had transferred to MP High School 3 months ago, was handsome and amiable, attracting the attention of everyone at school. Mai often watched Wee from a distance, feeling happy and grateful whenever she had the chance to see him, but also anxious and insecure about revealing her feelings. She didn't dare to approach him or confess her love. Yet, whenever she saw Wee smiling and talking with other girls, Mai's heart ached with longing and regret. She often imagined romantic moments with Wee, where they would walk together on the beach or gaze at the starry night sky. She spent much time thinking about the things they could share and the happy memories they could create together, even though she knew these were just fantasies. One warm afternoon, as the sunlight bathed the school garden, Wee unexpectedly approached Mai while she was sitting alone under a tree. With confidence and charm, he smiled brightly and started a conversation with her. "Hi, Mai," Wee said cheerfully and with genuine interest. "Do you like reading? I just finished an interesting book." Mai was surprised and elated to hear Wee's voice. Her heart pounded, and she felt as if she were dreaming. "Hi," she replied, trying to hide the nervousness in her voice. "Yes, I love reading. What's the name of the book you mentioned?" They began to talk about the books they liked and the stories they had experienced in the past. Mai felt more confident as she shared her thoughts with Wee. During their conversation, Wee seemed to show special interest in Mai, making her feel warm and special. Finally, when the conversation was about to end, Mai gathered all her courage and said, "Wee, I want to tell you something." Mai decided to confess her feelings to Wee. I like you, Wee," she said, looking at him with hopeful eyes. Mai's honesty and sincerity surprised Wee, and he smiled. "Really? I like you too, Mai," he said warmly. Mai's heart leaped with unimaginable happiness. She had finally dared to try and confess her feelings, and it brought about an outcome she couldn't believe. After receiving a positive response from Wee, Mai and he started dating. Their first date took place at a cafe near the school, where they could sit back, relax, and talk. During the date, Mai and Wee laughed and shared their hobbies, passions, and dreams. They felt very comfortable and natural around each other, like two longtime friends. Their eyes shone with happiness and excitement about the new life and love they were experiencing. They walked on the beach at sunset, shared romantic dinners, and even participated in extracurricular activities together. Every moment together was a beautiful and meaningful memory for Mai and Wee. They gradually understood each other better and built a strong and solid relationship based on respect, trust, and love. However, since starting to date Wee, Mai's life seemed to be filled with bizarre events and strange accidents. Although she initially didn't pay much attention to these, over time, these incidents began to make her uneasy and frightened. One evening, Mai and Wee were strolling by the river. A thick fog began to cover the area, making everything look blurry and hard to see. They tried to cross the small river to get back, but the fog gradually obscured their vision. "We should head back home, Mai," Wee said, keeping his calm despite the confusion and the darkness. Mai agreed, but before they could turn around, they heard footsteps from ahead. A mysterious girl appeared in the mist, with deep eyes and a faint glow illuminating her pale skin. Her long black hair covered part of her face, but a sinister smile was still visible. "You shouldn't," the girl said, her voice as cold as the wind. "Get close to him." Mai, a shy high school girl, gradually becomes entangled in terrifying events as her unrequited love for Wee, the new transfer student, begins to blossom. However, things take a darker turn when a ghost from the past emerges, bringing with it a deep grudge and a chilling warning. First love turns into a devil. Chap 2. Mai and Wee looked at each other in shock and fear. Mai didn't know who the girl was talking about, but her sudden appearance made them both shiver. "We should go home." Wee grabbed Mai's hand, his voice trembling. Mai and Wee quickly left the riverbank, heading straight forward without daring to look back. Both felt lost and anxious about what had just happened. In the thick fog, they knew they had to try to get home as quickly as possible to escape the sense of unease and danger. During another date, after walking my home, we left. I entered the elevator and pressed the button for the 15th floor. As the elevator ascended to the 13th floor, the lights suddenly went out, and the elevator stopped. I frantically pressed the alarm button and curled up in a corner of the elevator. The atmosphere felt eerie due to the mirrors on all sides. She quickly turned on her phone's flashlight to ease her fear, but when she saw the image before her, she screamed, nearly dropping her phone. A girl in a school uniform, with long hair covering her face, stood opposite her, clutching a brown notebook. Her mouth kept muttering, "Don't get close to him. How dare you?" Immediately, I recognized her as the strange girl from the mist. Despite her fear, she managed to ask, "Who are you? And who is he? Why are you following me?" The girl looked straight into my eyes, her gaze cold and dark. "You shouldn't continue with that guy," she said, her voice still icy. At that moment, the elevator lights came back on, and the girl vanished. I couldn't hide her fear and confusion after the strange events she had experienced, so she decided to tell Wee about them. They sat together in Wee's small room, where they could talk privately without interruptions. Why do you look so worried?" Wee asked, his eyes full of concern as he noticed my expression. I sighed and began to recount her encounter with the girl in the elevator. She described every detail, from the fear of being stuck in the elevator to the strange feeling of recognizing the girl from the fog. "And I feel like she knows about us." "About you," I said, her voice trembling. Wee listened without saying a word. His eyes were cold and distant, holding something strange. I felt she couldn't understand Wee's expression. "Why aren't you saying anything?" I asked, filled with unease. Wee looked straight into my eyes but didn't answer. Instead, he just gave a strange smile, one that I couldn't comprehend. Now she was sure he was hiding something related to that girl. I felt she was entangled in a bizarre secret, making her more anxious than ever. I decided to find out more about Wee's past to understand the oddities surrounding her encounters with the mysterious girl. She started by asking Wee's friends and neighbors, hoping to uncover important information. One of Wee's friends revealed to me that Wee had previously been in a serious relationship with a girl named Lynn. They had dated for a long time and had a beautiful relationship, but suddenly, Lynn passed away in an accident. She had slipped and fallen from the school rooftop. When she heard this, I felt as if she had been awakened, and the pieces started to come together in her mind. She connected Lynn's incident with the appearance of the mysterious girl in her life and the strange behavior of Wee. The more I investigated, the more she believed that there was a link between the bizarre events and Wee's past relationship with Lynn. She decided she needed to solve this mystery to protect herself and uncover the truth behind everything. I decided to visit the neighboring school where Lynn and Wee had previously studied, hoping to find more crucial information about their relationship. Upon arrival, she began gathering information from those who had worked there for a long time. I approached some former students and teachers, especially those who knew Lynn and Wee. She asked smart questions and tried to tell the story skillfully, without revealing her true purpose. Gradually, through conversations and meetings, I started to collect valuable information. She learned that Lynn and Wee had once been a famous couple at the school, with a beautiful and lively relationship. However, she also heard rumors about mysterious events that occurred with Lynn before her death. I discovered that some time before Lynn's death, she had changed significantly, always in a state of anxiety and heaviness, no longer her usual lively self. Through conversations with acquaintances of Lynn and Wee, she realized that their relationship was not always as sweet and happy as people thought. There were rumors about frequent arguments between Lynn and Wee, and some people even claimed to have witnessed severe conflicts between them. However, no one knew the exact cause of these arguments or whether they were related to Lynn's death. I felt she was getting closer to solving the mystery, but she also realized that the deeper she delved, the more mysteries and dangers lay ahead. Nevertheless, with determination and courage, she decided to continue unraveling all the mysteries to find the truth. As she unravels the dark secrets of Wee's past, Mai finds herself entangled in a supernatural love triangle with deadly consequences. Will she uncover the truth before it's too late? You pushed me down onto that cold ground. How can I forgive you, or her? First Love turns into a devil chap 3. While noting down the new information in her notebook, Mai decided to explore the school further. Suddenly, she heard a faint but echoing sound calling her name. She looked around but saw no one. Curiosity and excitement surged within her, and she decided to follow the sound to see what was happening. Gradually, the sound led Mai to a small path behind the school that led up to the school's rooftop. Mai climbed the rusty steps, her intuition telling her that the mysteries would be unraveled here. When Mai reached the rooftop, she was surprised to find no one else there. The rooftop was spacious and clean, offering a panoramic view of the school grounds and the surrounding town. Despite being an open space, it gave off a mysterious and strange vibe. Mai stood on the rooftop, watching the sunset cast its glow over the town. She felt a sense of peace and simplicity, mixed with confusion and anxiety about the recent strange events. Suddenly, Mai felt a cold breeze and heard footsteps behind her. She turned around and saw Wee standing there, looking worried and frightened. His presence startled her. "Wee, why are you here?" Mai asked, her voice filled with confusion. Wee didn't answer immediately. Instead, he just stared at Mai with worried and scared eyes. He seemed to want to say something but didn't know where to start. Mai noticed the sweat on Wee's forehead, indicating he had hurried to get there. She sensed the tension and felt herself becoming anxious too. "What's wrong with you?" Mai asked, her voice trembling slightly. Wee snapped out of his trance and quickly spoke. "Mai, you need to leave here immediately." Mai was surprised by Wee's warning, but before she could react, a mocking and bitter laugh echoed from behind her. Her heart pounded as she saw the girl in the school uniform suddenly appear, holding a blood-stained notebook. Lynn's eyes were filled with hatred and bitterness, and her sinister smile made Mai feel a chilling fear. "Lynn," Mai stammered. "Yes, it's me," Lynn said, her voice cold and haunting. "I've been waiting for this moment for years. I won't let him get away from me again, and neither will you." Mai stared at Lynn, trying to control her emotions. She couldn't understand what Lynn meant, but she sensed the danger in the air. She quickly turned to Wee, grabbing his hand and said, "Wee, we need to get out of here." Wee stared at Lynn, his handsome face showing fear and panic. He knew Lynn wouldn't let him go, but he still wanted to plead with her. "Lynn, please, spare her," Wee tried to say. "She's innocent." However, Lynn didn't listen. She just laughed cruelly, her eyes filled with hatred and viciousness. The danger was becoming increasingly apparent, and Mai and Wee faced an unforeseen threat. "Impossible," Lynn roared. "Didn't you say you'd only love me?" Her voice echoed through the air. "You pushed me down onto that cold ground. How could I forgive you? Or her?" It turned out that years ago, when Wee and Lynn were still together, Lynn's controlling nature had made Wee feel trapped and restricted. The feeling of being confined and imposed upon made Wee unhappy and uncomfortable in their relationship. Eventually, Wee decided to break up, but Lynn didn't accept it. She was shocked and desperate, unable to believe her boyfriend's request. In a fit of anger and panic, Lynn and Wee had a scuffle on the rooftop. It was then that Lynn lost her balance and fell from the rooftop, leading to an unforeseeable tragedy. Now, Wee realized he had to face the consequences of his actions. He regretted what had happened and wanted to protect Mai, the girl he loved. He quickly made a decision. The events that followed happened so quickly that Mai couldn't believe her eyes. Before she could react, Wee pushed her away and walked towards Lynn. In his hand appeared a notebook, similar to the one Lynn was holding. Mai felt as if she were in a dream, unable to believe what was happening. "No, Wee, don't do this," Mai cried out, full of desperation. Before Mai could do anything else, Wee hugged Lynn and jumped off the edge. "Let it end." Mai watched them, tears streaming down her face. She collapsed by the rooftop railing. She saw Wee's shirt flap in the wind and Lynn's triumphant, satisfied face. Perhaps she had gotten what she wanted most. The sound of bodies hitting the ground was loud, the red spreading like phoenix petals, soaking Wee's white shirt and seeping into that brown notebook. Mai stood on the rooftop, her eyes fixed on the chaos below. She felt the oppressive atmosphere was gone, but it couldn't erase the heart-wrenching pain inside her.